Whenever someone has done wrong by you, immediately consider what notion of good or evil they had in doing it. For when you see that, you'll feel compassion instead of astonishment or rage. For you may yourself have the same notions of good and evil, or similar ones, in which case you'll make an allowance for what they've done. But if you no longer hold the same notions, you'll be more readily gracious for their errors. Marcus Aurelius. When someone wrongs us, we often wonder if they deliberately tried to hurt us. But what if they believed they were doing the right thing, even if they were mistaken? These wise words from Marcus Aurelius are supported by Socrates, renowned for his wisdom, who also believes that no one does wrong willingly. They act based on what they believe is right. So, Marcus Aurelius enlightens us that perhaps the person who hurt us had a different understanding of what's right and wrong, shaped by their experiences or beliefs. We don't have to agree with them, but considering their perspective can open a window of compassion and insight into their motivations. It's like wearing a lens that alters our perspective, making us more accepting and forgiving. This lesson is a powerful reminder that we all perceive the world through different filters, influenced by our experiences and beliefs. Above all, keep a close watch on this, that you are never so tied to your former acquaintances and friends that you are pulled down to their level. If you don't, you'll be ruined. You must choose whether to be loved by these friends and remain the same person, or to become a better person at the cost of those friends. If you try to have it both ways, you will neither make progress nor keep what you once had. Epictetus. If our friends are constantly engaging in unhealthy habits, making poor choices, or simply not striving for anything better, it can influence us to adopt similar behaviors. On the contrary, when we have friends who are ambitious, focused on self-improvement, and supportive of our goals, they'll challenge us to do better and help us stay on track. Epictetus urged us to be vigilant, ensuring we don't get tethered to our old companions if they pull us down. Making conscious choices about the company we keep is essential. Sometimes, it might mean reducing time spent with negative influences and seeking out new friends who uplift and support us on our journey. In fact, it's sometimes better to have 0 friends than having 100, but a bunch of unmotivated and bad influences. We can remove most sins if we have a witness standing by as we are about to go wrong. The soul should have someone it can respect, by whose example it can make its inner sanctum more inviolable. Happy is the person who can improve others, not only when present, but even when in their thoughts. Seneca. When we're about to make a bad decision, a moment when we're about to veer off the path of virtue and self-discipline, wouldn't it be great to have someone standing by, a trustworthy witness who can remind us of our values and guide us back on track? According to Seneca, we all need someone who inspires us to be a better person. Someone who's incredibly disciplined, brave, or always acts with integrity. It's that moment when we're around them, and we can't help but want to emulate their noble qualities. With that being said, Seneca suggests that each of us needs our very own Cato, a remarkable person, real or imagined, whose example we can keep in our minds. This Cato serves as a compass for our actions, even when they're not physically present. It's like having an indifferent spectator in our minds, a figurative voice that quietly observes our choices and behavior. This spectator serves as our internal moral compass, ready to admonish us when we're considering laziness, dishonesty, or selfishness. Whenever you find yourself blaming Providence, turn it around in your mind and you will see that what has happened is in keeping with reason. Epictetus. There are times when we find ourselves pointing fingers at the universe, blaming Providence for the misfortunes that befall us. It's a common human tendency to see external factors as the culprits behind our hardships. But Epictetus emphasizes that instead of blaming Providence, we should turn the situation around in our minds and seek to understand it with reason. He reminds us that life's events are not random occurrences governed by a capricious force. Instead, they are part of a rational order, even if we can't always see the bigger picture. It's like showing a puzzle. Sometimes, we need to rearrange the pieces to see the complete picture. And when we approach life's challenges with reason and acceptance, we unlock the potential for learning and growth. Epictetus reminds us that we have the power to turn our perspective around and see the harmony and reason in all that happens. Let's choose reason over blame and open ourselves to the wisdom that life has to offer. Were you to live 3,000 years, or even a countless multiple of that, keep in mind that no one ever loses a life other than the one they are living, and no one ever lives a life other than the one they are losing. The longest and the shortest life, then, amount to the same, for the present moment lasts the same for all and is all anyone possesses. No one can lose either the past or the future, for how can someone be deprived of what's not theirs? Marcus Aurelius. Take a moment today and observe how often we catch ourselves yearning for more, for a past that could have been different, better, or still with us, or for a future that unfolds exactly as we envision, without considering its impact on others. It's natural to find ourselves lost in nostalgia or fixated on our future plans, but in doing so, we often neglect the present moment. How ungrateful of us! Bill Keane, the cartoonist, gave us a gentle reminder. Yesterday's the past, tomorrow's the future, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Marcus Aurelius echoes this sentiment in his Meditations. He urges us to understand that no one ever loses a life other than the one they are living, and no one ever lives a life other than the one they are losing. This might sound profound, but it's a simple truth. It doesn't matter how much time we have. What matters is how we make use of the time we're given. If we savor and appreciate each moment, it becomes enough. In these magical words from Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, we find valuable lessons about taking responsibility to shape our approach and reactions to life's challenges to better days. With that, this is again Powerful Quote. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.